we're going to start off with a one-dimensional problem and work our way up to the third dimension. However, the best part about this is the process and the framework stays the same. So the more familiar you come with it, the easier it's going to be when you do the other ones down the line, which are a little more complicated. So right now we're going to try to figure out how far a 10K is. 10K is a running term. A lot of races are 10K. We're going to figure out how many miles that is. All right. Step one, we're going to need to draw our railroad tracks. A student talked to me and they said sideways zipper. And I'm like, you know what? I'm down with that. I think it's a better railroad track. So we got that in there. The number of lines and which directions are arbitrary because you can just erase or add to them. Got that one done. Next thing we're going to do is create our road map. Okay. What this means is we're going to figure out how we get from units, from 10K, which is kilometers, all the way to miles when we have to use centimeters to inches as a bridge between the two systems. So, I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. So, how many units do you have on one side of the equation? It's as simple as that. That's the question. How many do we have? I'm going to go with one. Do we have two? No, we do not. We have one. We have one on this side and one on that side. So that means we have one. So let's work our way. What we're going to do is we're going to start out here with kilometers. And then we're going to move to meters and centimeters. So we're moving back down because once we get to centimeters, then we can move over to inches. So this is the most important part because you can go from a lot of different things on Google. You can go to kilometers to miles. There's a conversion for that. But I need to see the calculations and the standardization across 150 students. You illustrating to me that you know how to do this. So we're going to go to inches. Pull that feet out. Apologize for my chicken scratch. All right, there's our roadmap. Let's go ahead and check it. Do we start with kilometers into miles? Looking good. Okay, we only have one of them, so that one's gone. Number 3, let's enter the units. Units in first. Okay, so what we're going to do is use this as a framework. And what I mean by that is that this first line always stays, doesn't matter which problem you do. The left of this line right here is always going to be what's given in the problem. Just pull it down. This is going to come from the conversion, or what comes from your equation sheet. So between both of these, getting it this far should be relatively straightforward. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pull kilometers from right there, down to there. So a lovely little math philosophy here is we have something on the top and we have something on the bottom. They cancel each other. So we're trying to cancel these units till we get over here. So if it starts on the top and we want to get rid of it, put it at the bottom. Goes away. But we know what conversion is. We know that. So then we do this. And once again, you know that, but you're also going your roadmap here. So there's checks across it just to make sure you're in place. So we got centimeters. This is where we have to have that inches. Feet. Hey, I got lucky and drew the right number. And so you're just bringing this down. Go ahead and check it. Kilometers on top. Yep. Miles on top. Yep. Good to go. Now let's enter our values in. Do we already know what they are? Because 10 gets brought down. Right? And now we just look at that conversion. See, I think hopefully some of this stuff gets implanted in your memory if it's not already. Okay? 1 kilometer. 1,000. Is 100. 2.54 centimeters is an inch. Which is in a foot. And 5,280 is in 1 mile. Okay, so we're going through step 4. Looks like I got the numbers in. Everything's filled up. All right. Last thing we'll do, let's go right here. Go ahead and set this up. So we're trying to calculate this. It's a multiplicative relationship. Everything on the top. a whole bunch of parentheses here. It's on the bottom. That's it. I guess I just want to emphasize the parentheses, right? Because sometimes students go astray with that. Outside of that, it's pretty cut and dry. So what you do is you figure out that calculation, call that X. You put miles, and you put a box around your answer. And I'll let y'all buzz that calculator out to figure out what that is. And that's it. So hopefully this provides some clarification, and let me know if you have any questions.